Hi, this is King Fally from Deceased and October 31, and you're rocking with Poppitt's Corner.
Now, speaking of bands, I got to ask, the formation of the Iron Maidens, because it's kind of one of the main tribute bands that literally is like world renowned at this
Right.
point. With Damage Inc. and those kind of tribute bands, and they're few and far between because there's so many tribute bands. But for some reason, those two have like put in so much work to where they're world renowned at this
Right.
point. So I'm just kind of curious how that formation started for you specifically, and kind of, was it whose idea was it at the time when it became the Iron Maidens as a band name too?
Great question. Taking back to some of my blabberings earlier about playing the Gas Lamp, and I love the Gas Lamp as a venue in Long Beach. I was a waitress there in college when I attended Cal State Long Beach. I met my first husband there. And we played a gig there as Wrathchild, and that's when James Moore, Giant Arm, our Dave Murray, said, "Hey, you guys should fire the men and have all girls because I would love to see that." And he raised this beer. Great character. And Melanie and I said, we'll look into that. The other two dudes said not so much. So we put some scouts out. It might have been Dennis Resendez, Mosh King, who said, wait a minute, why don't you recruit some of the ladies in Phantom Blue? They've done some albums. They're beyond phenomenal. And they may be available. They may have some time. And I think he was the hookup for that. And we hooked up with them. And we had a meeting with them at the Gas Lamp. And we sat at like booth number 3. And the booth is still there. I love that. I sang at an anniversary, the 18th year, and I said that booth right there was where we sat down and decided we're going to do this. And so we had Linda and Josephine on one side of the table and Melanie and I on the other side of the table. And we talked it through, and we talked about goals and background and what we were looking to do. And there was just a nice synergy between us. And so we said, well, let's give it a shot. And we have to come up with a name. And we thought about it for a couple of weeks and thought of Iron Maidens. And someone said, well, why not the Iron Maidens? And I don't remember who came up with either of those, but the Iron Maidens sounds like it would differentiate the band more than just Iron Maidens, which is very close to Iron Maiden. So we selected that. Melanie designed the first logo, added the S, added the THE. She came up with the yellow Eddie Pac-Man face with a bow and the eyelashes that later I spray painted onto some black pieces of fabric, and we put that there as amp covers and sprinkled glitter all over the garage to add a little glitz to it, because I always wanted to add that feminine side to Maiden, because I hear their music as feminine. Maybe it's that progressive metal, progressive rock sound that they have, but it's that tone that Dave Murray has as well, that very round tone that's just so fluid.